Hey guys, it's Sunday morning, and this is the start of a new program that we've decided to do with Cruise Casino Advisor and Cruise Casino Mafia. So once a week, usually it'll probably be over the weekend, chilling out, relaxing, kind of getting my thoughts together on what we would normally do as a podcast. We're probably just going to do it here as a video. It's just much easier for me at the moment. So every Sunday, we're going to do something in relation to the cruise casino systems, how to look at the casino games, things of that nature. These conversations can probably take a myriad of different topics. So today I decided, I've been thinking about it all week. We recently opened up to the public for the first time cruisecasinomafia.com, which is our website where we're finally able to open up the curtain, so to speak, for a limited number of people to be able to gain access to the exact systems, money management methodology that we use to be able to siphon off money from the casino. We haven't necessarily talked about this with a lot of people over the years. Some people know, how successful we've been using the casino as an asset class, so to speak. And the questions that you get, it's really interesting when you start talking about this on social media or even in person with people that may have known you or acquaintances. You always get that question or it's more of a statement than it is a question by many people. Well, isn't that just gambling? This negative word, this gambling, you can't really win. The math is against you, this kind of thing. And it's funny because today's topic I want to talk about, and we'll probably revisit this topic multiple times because it comes up all the time. So I want to start by kind of giving you a little bit of an analogy for the past and other things that we've been involved with. So since 1993, 92, I traded almost everything, and I taught hundreds and hundreds of people how to trade in the stock market, options, Forex, and eventually over to crypto over the last few years. And it's fascinating because there's so many interesting kind of scenarios that are almost exactly the same to what we're doing now. So I'm just going to give you a bigger overview of what we're talking about here. So when I first got involved in trading in the futures market in the early 90s, I was told that nobody makes money in the futures market, that the futures market was only for farmers and people that were in the pits in Chicago, trading in those pits that you see on TV with all the people yelling and screaming. And there was no way that anybody could really make money as a retail investor, that it was impossible. And then once again, this also happened when I switched gears and moved into trading very early on when it was available to retail traders. In the mid-90s, on those first platforms, I started trading foreign currency or the Forex market. And once again, I was told and we'll tell you who was saying it, of course, that you can't make money in Forex trading. The only way to make money in Forex trading was if you're a bank or the government itself. All right. And we were told that. And then, of course, the same thing happened in early 2000s, okay? Not early 2000s, maybe 2006 to 2012, and is still continuing today, which is that crypto is a complete scam, and it's not a real asset class, and you can't make money doing it. Well, let's take a look at all of these things. First of all, let's talk about crypto. So crypto has created more millionaires since its inception than any other asset class in the history of this planet, okay? And these are not people that were oil barons that had money to get involved with real estate or take their family money, old money, and turn it into even bigger money. These are people, many of them, that the normal average guy, and even age didn't mean anything. Many of the people that have made millions of dollars in crypto are people under the age of 30. So, but we were told, if you listen to the people that were telling us and are still telling us on CNBC, you can't make money in crypto. It's a scam. It's going to go away. Bitcoin's going away. The same way they told me in the Forex market. So what does this have to do with casino systems? So here we go. So the reason for the video today is kind of perspective, okay? It's kind of learning to get rid of the noise, okay? Sometimes the information that we're being told is really tainted, okay? Really tainted. And I'm going to show you a really fun example of that right now. So many of you know that my other channel, Geek Assets, has to do with crypto and has to do with comic books. I've collected comic books since the age of about 8 years old in 1976. It's a long time. And when I started collecting, even up until the last maybe 9 years or so, 8 years, comic books were this fun, childlike thing, nostalgia. Maybe you could buy and sell them here and there at conventions. People would tell you that you're wasting your money, that money should be in the stock market or mutual funds or 401ks. Well, let me show you something that's pretty cool. This is X-Men #1, okay? X-Men #1. This comic is now worth, in this grade, these are graded comics when they're professionally graded and sealed into these plastics by a company called CGC, okay? Not really important to our conversation, but I know people will ask. This is a highly sought after comic book. This is the first appearance of the X-Men, all right? And many of you have probably seen the X-Men cartoon or the movies that have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. This comic book today in this grade goes from anywhere between $13,000 to $15,000, somewhere in that range, okay? And it's only going up, but that's not important for the conversation. What is important for the conversation is that this comic book that's now worth $13,000, $14,000, you could have bought for hundreds of dollars just 15 years ago, okay? Even sooner than that, you could have bought this comic for $1,000, $2,000, $2,500, and now it's worth $13,000, $14,000. But if you had asked people, especially Wall Street people, about investing in comic books, they would have laughed in your face and told you that you need to put your money in mutual funds. Well, the percentage returns that I have and other people have that knew the value and what potentially was going to happen when the comic book movie started, we were way ahead of our time, okay? Some people got lucky, but some of us actually knew and had a feeling of what was coming. So the percentage increases in that asset class is incredible. And that's a situation where most people would have told you that you were wasting your money. Same thing with crypto, okay? People are still saying it. Every time something goes down, every time the market takes a dip, they're shouting from the rafters on TV, all those Jim Cramer figureheads, people like that crypto is going to die, take your money out, you're going to lose everything. They've done this every step of the way for the last 15 years. They have told you that Bitcoin is going to crash and it's going to zero. And every time it's had the dip and they came out and yelled and screamed, it went up again, up again, up again. We've seen people make millions and millions and millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now in the 20s again. It's around $25,000 a Bitcoin. So every time that it's had a dip, you had an opportunity to buy more. And they continue to say that there's no money to be made in crypto. So let's bring this whole thing around. The reason for this conversation is that perspective is everything. In our space now with gambling, if you want to call it gambling, that has a negative connotation. And we're supposed to believe that there's absolutely no way to consistently make money in the short term and the long term using casino gaming. Okay, casino gaming, roulette, craps, baccarat, and other games in the casino, because the powers that be, just like the powers that be that didn't want you to make money in crypto, there's a reason for that. Okay, they want you to put your funds, your money, into where they are making money. All right, so when you listen to those people from those scenarios, it's because they don't want your money to go into anything other than Wall Street, other than the bank. So understand that you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And that's really the point here, is that you've got to do your own thinking. And what does that mean? It means that math is math, okay? Math doesn't change, all right? If you look at the average mutual fund returns over the last 25, 30 years, you will see that on average, it's between 5 and 8% maximum per year. Okay, 5 and 8% maximum per year. All right. Inflation is crazy, right? Look at the cost of a movie ticket now. Look at the cost of milk, eggs, anything. The inflation over years is so much higher than anything you could possibly get out of throwing your money into the bank, which is less than 1% a year for the most part. You're making nothing there. Okay, you're basically losing money by having your money only in the bank or mutual funds. Now, that's not to say I have nothing against the banks. I have nothing against mutual funds. I have nothing against any of these asset classes. Like I said, crypto is something that we've taken seriously for years now and have done very well, and I've helped other people do it. Same thing with the Forex market, same thing with options and stocks. Everything has its place. So this is not about one versus the other. This is simply about understanding that when you evaluate things, take a look at the math and not just the people that are talking. The people that are talking always have an ulterior motive. 2 days ago, the crypto market dropped over 5-6% in 1 day of market cap. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, okay? And the reason that happened was because, once again, the government is scared. The U.S. government does not want your money going into other asset classes that they don't have a connection to, meaning if it's not connected to the U.S. dollar. And that is why the government is attacking crypto, because they've finally gotten to the point where they have to do something, okay? And they're attacking it. They're not going to win, but that's a different conversation. So the reason that you've been told, and most people bring up the question to us, can you actually make money using casino games, is because you've always been told that there's a house edge, okay? So I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole with this first video. We're gonna investigate, we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna show charts and graphs and do actual math in future videos. But here's the deal, the bigger picture, okay? There is a house edge. There's a house edge in roulette, in baccarat, in blackjack, and obviously there's a house edge in things like slot machines, any type of gaming whatsoever, there's a house edge, okay? And they tell you that the reason that gambling is an entertainment and you can't win in the long run or on a regular basis consistently is because of this quote-unquote house edge, okay? Let's talk about that in an overview, and then we'll talk about this a little bit further in other videos. We cannot overcome the house edge, okay? But let's back it up for a minute before we go forward there. The thing is, the irony is that what they're not telling you is that there's a house edge in everything, almost everything, unless you're cheating, unless you have inside information in the stock market, unless you know the results of an economic report, unless you are the broker and you're taking fees as opposed to making the decision as to which side of the trade you're on, there's always a house edge. Remember something, we have no idea when there's a rate hike, when there's a crisis, when there's a global pandemic, when there's an Enron, when there is a product launch for a company that bombs, or there's a recall on a product that's going to tank the profitability of that company. Okay, same thing in the Forex market. We have no idea the economic impacts that are coming along the way. So when you look at a chart and you're taught how to look at Japanese trading candlesticks, and you're told that this exact pattern means that there is a massive chance that this is going to continue to go up or go down, yes, you're using statistics, you're using indicators. I've taught them for years. But there is, and if you've ever traded, you know that there is still information, fundamental information that you don't know that someone else either does know already or no one knows. So we're talking about predictability as well here. So to make the statement that an edge or a house edge that quote unquote must be overcome, which is an entirely different video, by the way, we'll talk about that. It's ridiculous. Okay, everything has a house edge or unknown quote, unknown data, unknown information. So they don't want you to understand that there's other asset classes like the comic books and like the casino gaming. They try to use things to say that there's a house edge. Every time that you make a trade, every time you put money into a mutual fund, every time you buy a currency or an option, there's a house edge. So make no mistake about it. My argument to you would be, is really it doesn't matter, okay? Trying to take the statement that there's a house edge and you can't win is utterly ridiculous. There is a small number of people that consistently win in the Forex market, okay? Small number of people, that is true. But there are those people on the retail space that win, okay? Many of the reasons why they win have nothing to do with predictability 100%. That's not the entire, they don't have a crystal ball. They have a really good crystal ball, but they also pair that up with the way that they're manipulating the math, the way that they're managing their money, okay, is a huge, huge part. And it's no different from the stock market or any of these assets to casino gaming. What we do with Cruise Casino Mafia, our systems are based on math. Our systems are based on algorithms. Our systems are based on stats, probability. Believe it or not, it's exactly the same methodology. Math is math. Whether you're talking about the math behind casino gaming, whether you're talking about the math behind every single stock trade that you do, option trade that you do, especially options, or any of these asset classes, it really comes down to the ability to determine the best that you can and understand what your odds are, what the probability is if you have a system that tells you exactly where to bet, okay, where to put your money. And then the other side of the component is managing the risk, managing the money that you're individually betting and what you're doing overall. What is the game plan? It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. The numbers change, the stats change, the probability changes, but the ability to make money from any asset class is up to the math. It's in the math. It's always in the math. So can you actually make consistent money using gaming systems and methodology? The answer is yes. We've proven it. Other people have proven it. There's not that many, that's for sure. But it's the same thing in every other asset class. Most people lose in those asset classes. That's just the way that it goes. The other difference, though, is spectacular. And this is what I want to kind of drive home. And then we'll cut this video and we'll talk about things on the next little chat. So here's the thing. We don't have any of those other outside influences in casino systems or casino games. Now, let me put a caveat on that. I know people are going to say, well, what about cheating? What about the casino being rigged? What about that? Those are all things, you have the right to ask that question. But those things don't really exist if you're playing by the rules, playing in legitimate casinos. You're not playing against software or software that can be tweaked or manipulated. We only play against live dealers, whether that's online or whether that's actually in a cruise or a brick and mortar casino on land, like Vegas or Foxwoods or Biloxi or wherever it may be, or in your backyard, since casinos are everywhere now. But here's the thing. Here's the benefit. Okay, there's pluses and minuses to everything. Okay, this is not one against the other. We don't have the stock market crashing. We don't have unforeseen global crisis. We don't have bad economic reports, interest rate hikes, countries going into debt, political parties manipulating the news and scaring people into pulling their money out of a stock or a currency or whatever it may be. We don't have any of those outside influences. So you may say that there's a house edge in every casino game, and there is. But we also have the benefit of clean math. Clean math. That's it. I don't care if you're a billion-dollar trader or if you're Elon Musk or anybody else. You can be the most incredible trader. You can have teams of people working on whether you should be in the market, out of the market, going up, going down. But even Elon Musk cannot, he does not have a crystal ball based on these outside influences and economic reports and crisis and pandemics and things like that. In our world here in the casino gaming sector, we have absolutely none of those things. So you tell me, is the house edge that different? How does it stack up? Overcoming 2, 3, 4, 5%. And we'll talk about that house edge in the next video. But would you rather have to overcome a small house edge the same way that you have to overcome a broker fee? So throw that into the mix. Do you trade for free? I don't think so. When you buy a stock, an option, or even currency, there are fees, okay? Boy, isn't that interesting that they're charging a fee? Isn't that something that you have to overcome to be in the plus or the minus to be able to be in profit? That's not a house edge. That's a house edge every single time that you join, along with the economic reports, disasters, and the whole string of other problems. So with that being said, the point of this video simply is don't believe everything you're told, because here's the deal. If I believed everything I was told, I wouldn't have this asset. I wouldn't have this asset. I also wouldn't have Ethereum and Polygon and Polkadot and Gala and all the other, and Cardano, all the other crypto coins that I bought on the dips every single time that the Kramers of the world told us that crypto is a scam and it's going to zero, okay? Every time they say that, it's like a jackpot for people that know what they're doing, because they're just manipulating the masses. So be very, very careful when you have this bias, this confirmation bias, because you were told something years earlier. Casino gaming has a house edge. Most people lose. That is a fact, okay? In 2022, you can go on the internet and look at the Forbes article about casino gaming revenue. Over $60 billion in North America. $60 billion, okay? Which means most people lose. That's okay. Most people lose in every asset class. So you either can say everybody loses and not want to be one of those 1%ers, or you can say to yourself that you're interested, you're curious, and you want to understand the math, and you want to see if it's something that can produce an income stream. Because that's all I'm involved with. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care whether it's eBay, Amazon, or anything else. I'm interested in the likelihood of producing a steady or regular income stream. That's it. Nothing else matters. I don't really care whether it's a comic book, baseball card, autograph, piece of land, or playing a game. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just another income stream. And that's what people that make real money will tell you, is that the underlying asset really doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Okay? So getting involved in that confirmation bias because you were told many years ago by an uncle that nobody ever wins at craps. Nobody ever wins at the roulette table. He's right about 99% of the time. So if you want to learn how to be the other 1% or half of 1%, really, then you can continue to follow the videos right here. You can like and subscribe to this channel. We're not charging anything for the information we give here. You can sign up for our free newsletter at our sister website, cruisecasinoadvisor.com. Free newsletter, free contests, fun gambling information, little tips and tricks. And if you want to take it to another level, if you want to learn how we turn casino systems into an actual legitimate steady income stream, then you can go and take a look at our pro site, which is cruisecasinomafia.com. At the point that we're running this video, we are having a ridiculous special on a lifetime membership as opposed to an annual membership. It's less than a quarter of the price of what this is going to be in the next few months. And I will tell you this as well. Each one of the systems and the methodologies that we're teaching there is based on statistics, math, pattern recognition. It's probabilities, it's odds, it's math, okay? And then we combine that with an absolute deadly money management concept. So we teach what we do, okay? And when we learn something new, we bring it to the members there and we upload a new video or a PDF. And that means we're constantly bringing forth new concepts and ideas. You don't have to learn every one of them. There's no reason to. There's tons of legitimate systems that we now have back there, and they're not all going to make sense to you. Just like most people, it didn't make sense to buy that comic book. Okay? That's okay. You may like one game, an asset class, better than another. And that's the game that you want to learn how to make money at. You may hate playing blackjack, or craps is just not your deal. But Baccarat is. So there's lots of options. There's not one way to do this. You don't need thousands of dollars to get started. This is not an elite situation. But the beauty of it is, it's an asset class that we constantly are utilizing to make money. And we can do it online from our own house. Same as trading, right? You don't have to go anywhere. You can be on vacation and do it. You can take your vacation and do it at the same time, which is the best part of what we do. We make money on cruises doing this. We make money in Vegas doing this. You can travel to other countries and do this. It's an endless situation of this specific asset class. Now, along with this, we're also going to be introducing, for Mafia members, some other income streams along the way, because I basically decided to shrink a lot of the other stuff that I was doing. So for the same price, the same members, starting in the next couple of months, we're going to be rolling into what we used to call the Raleigh Crypto Society. So this is basically a newsletter-based situation that I've done for people over the last 3.5 years. we've taken $5,000-$10,000 and turned it into $210,000. So this type of information, and it's not a daily trading thing. So don't think that you're stuck in front of the computer. The way that we utilize the crypto is we basically it's swing trading. So once you're in, you're in. You could be out in 5 days if you want, but it's not a day trading situation. You don't have to monitor it or anything like that. We're giving all the members the information that we were charging for in the past. So you're going to get access to that, which means that your money can be growing passively while you're learning these systems and potentially using them to make an income stream on a regular basis as well. You're going to be able to move that money into other asset classes like crypto. So there's other things I can't mention on this video yet that we're going to also slowly bring in to the Cruz Casino Mafia family. And basically, I'm just bringing things back together in one place as opposed to doing them in multiple different places. And all the members are going to get advantage of that. There's a lot of cool things coming. And we have a lot of fun. We really do. So bottom line is everything has a house edge. You just have to learn how to manipulate the math and the probabilities to be able to put yourself in the right situation to be able to siphon off money. And in the $60 billion that the casino industry made in 2022, there's plenty of money to siphon off. That's not an issue whatsoever, okay? That's the bottom line. So the next time that someone tells you that the stock market is the only place to be or the US dollar is the only place to be, you know better than that. You know better than that now, I hope. And we'll do more videos on this subject and looking at different asset classes and comparing them to what we're doing because we're not gambling. We don't look at this as gambling. To me, this is no different than trading. So I know my risk to reward every time I step into the market. I know my risk to reward every time I step into a new session playing roulette or baccarat or craps. I have profit targets, I have stop losses, and I have a set bankroll, okay? Absolutely no different than when I traded Forex or anything else. So I hope I've kind of opened your mind to the possibilities. That's all this video was about, was to, basically tell people to stop believing the rhetoric. Yes, you can make money in this asset class. Yes, there's multiple ways of doing it. No, you do not need millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or even mass, you can start with a very small amount of money. And we're teaching people how to do that every day of the week. And if that sounds interesting to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, go put yourself on the free newsletter from cruzcasinoadvisor.com. And if you're ready to take that leap and learn what we do, you can visit the pro website, cruzcasinomafia.com. We'll have plenty of more videos here on specific tips and also just general overviews like this to kind of get your brain thinking in a different way. You remember, people like Elon Musk and other people that have been visionaries, Microsoft founders, Google founders, Amazon founders, Jeff Bezos, they didn't believe what they were told on TV. They moved forward. They had a game plan. They understood the math. They understood the risk, and they moved forward. We've done the same thing. It's no different. So acknowledge who you should be listening to. Acknowledge what news is trying to subvert you into where they need your money to be, and make your own decisions using math. That's all my point is here. Have a great day. We'll be back on another video real soon, and I hope I get to talk to each one of you guys in the near future. Take it easy. Bye.